I love apples. I love grapes, cherries, and, well, wine. Come on, who doesn't? Hi, I'm Chris May, writer, producer, and host of This Day in Weather History, now in its second year from the Weather Network in Canada. The Okanagan region of British Columbia generally has very good agricultural land and is best known for its tree fruit production. So it would be really, really bad if it were ever hit with a major and massive hailstorm. Let's see just what happened July 21st, 1997, on this day in weather history. From British Columbia's Okanagan Valley, apples, grapes, and 96% of BC's soft fruits are grown in the south central region. Further north in the Kelowna-Vernon area, apples are the main tree fruit crop. Fruit processing companies and wineries are also common in this area. On top of all this, commercial, micro, and estate wineries produce award-winning premium wines for markets all across North America. Okanagan's $100 million hailstorm on July 21st, 1997 was a destructive hail and windstorm that ripped through the orchards of the Okanagan that did so much damage to that year's crop. It resulted in 40% of the crop deemed unsuitable for the fresh market. The Okanagan is normally known for its mild climate and low annual precipitation. Osoyoos is about as close as Canada gets to a desert, so the climate has everything in the region. So as a result, production varies from fruit and vineyards to field crops, cattle, hogs, and poultry. Welcome to year 2 of this podcast. Right now, you're listening to the full version of today's story on your favorite podcast provider. But there's also the daily podcast video short. They're shot right here in my podcast recording studio, so you get that perspective. But oftentimes, they will include visuals from that day's event from when it happened in weather history. So after listening to the full story, go check out the podcast video short on television or online anytime at theweathernetwork.com/weather history. I'd like to remind you where you can catch this podcast if you might be picking this up off our site or from within a story. You can look up or ask for This Day in Weather History, wherever you normally listen to your favorite podcasts, including Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Alexa, and now every day on yahoo.ca. Little perspective. The interior of BC receives an average of 3 hailstorms per year, with large pellet storms more common on the eastern slope of the Rockies. The Okanagan Valley experienced a major hailstorm near Penticton in 1946, which caused $2 million of damage to pear and apple crops. But the rain and hail on July 21st of this year was accompanied by winds gusting to 100 kilometers per hour that tossed boats around in the interior lakes and caused power outages and traffic accidents. It was as costly to their agriculture as it was to their infrastructure, and it happened on this day in weather history. Hey, do you like the podcast? We'd love to hear from you. If you have an idea, go right now to wherever you're listening to me and rate us if you would, please. It's on a 5-star system, and we would love as many stars as you can afford. So rate us, but then also review us. This way we can always stay on top of how you'd like to see the show evolve. Then remember to subscribe to this podcast. Click the subscribe or follow button right there on the very same podcast homepage you're listening on. You'll be immediately reminded that the next day is ready to listen to, and you also have access to every episode in the archives. It dates back to June 1st of 2020, so there is a lot that we got to get caught up on this day in weather history. Tomorrow is July 22nd. We revisit the historical $15 billion Great Mississippi and Missouri River flood of 1993. So imagine a flooded area totaling around 30,000 square miles, or just under 80,000 square kilometers, and you are likely imagining the worst flooding U.S. disaster since the Great Mississippi Flood of 1927. But this one happened in 1993, July 22nd, 1993. That's tomorrow, on this day, in weather history with me, your host, Chris May.